Hello everybody, this is Tiago with US Frame Factory. Today I'm going to show you how to use our joist spanning toolkit. So as we know, joists are, it's like this right over here. They're used for building floor systems, and it's when you use a steel stud placed in the horizontal position to span a floor system. So you want to be at our main page, and you just go to the span, height, and tools table. And we're going to look at floor joist span. So here, this is most of the inputs that we're going to be changing right over here. First, we're going to look at the load type. For a hotel or typical residence, it is typically a dead load of 10 pounds per square foot and a live load of 40 pounds per square foot. The deflection tolerance is typically L over 360. So you have that. Now, in terms of single span or double span has a support in between it. Single span is just open. Single span right here, double span with the support in the middle. So we're going to be doing single span here. Now you can choose between the joist spacings 12, 16, and 24. The most common is 24, so we'll just go with that. Now let's choose the web width, which will be the depth of our joist. Say we want a 12-inch deep floor. So now this is the most important criteria, the required clear span. So this is the span before a support. So if we're doing a hotel, typically it's going to be about 12 to 15 feet. Let's say it's 12 feet. So these are the available joists we can use for the hotel. We can use a 12-inch S162. You can use a higher gauge. Now, if we were to be doing, for example, a self-storage unit, the span would probably be closer to 10 feet. The dead load would probably be about the same, but the live load would be, the dead load would be a little higher, and the live load would be a lot higher. And see, you'd have to use joists of higher gauges right here. So some other details you want to look into, the joist bracing detail, bridging detail. This is very common. For example, you can see it right here. These are bridging pieces that you would put on a joist. You want to put a web stiffener when there's like a load-bearing wall above the joist, or a web stiffener at the end right over here. These have web stiffeners in the back of them. And as you can see, you can just really play around with this. We'll do one more scenario. Say you're trying to do a house and you have a living room with a 20-foot span. A house would probably have a dead load of 10, a live load of maybe 40. Say you want a 10-foot width. And here again, you can see the options. This is a 10-inch depth at 24 on center. And you can see the options for joists that you can select. You can turn up the tolerance so we can get a less deflection. But you have all these options, and you're able to also adjust the flange and the KSI of the material. The KSI is almost always going to be above 50. So after you size your joists, please consider us to buy your steel framing, and just go to our homepage and contact us. Thank you.